He's putting his contacts in, so he's poking his eyeball right now. Hope everybody had a good day. It snowed a little bit here in Wisconsin. Yes, it did. At least up north it did. Maybe it didn't here because Brandon's like it did. So, but I work about 30 minutes to the north of home. So, yeah, I'm sure you guys saw we got our seed starting video out and our butchering quail video. And then our thumbnail actually has some of my, I think that was the cilantro growing. My dill also sprouted, but it's really leggy. So hope everybody else's stuff is going better than mine. Although our peppers are looking decent. Some of them. The other half didn't sprout, I think, because they were getting too much light. So, anywho, this is Whiskey Tango Talk. I'm Kristin. My husband Brandon will be joining us here in just a second. We live in right smack dab in the middle of Wisconsin at Whiskey Tango Farms. We do this YouTube live Q&A every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. We also have our website, whiskeytangofarms.net. We have Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. So check us out over there. We sell hatching eggs, stacking egg trays, t-shirts. We had a calendar that's off the website now, but we'll hopefully be having a new one soon as well, or announcing one, or doing like a model call. We ship hatching eggs nationwide. So check us out over there. Let us know if you have any questions. But basically this Q&A is just kind of a chance for everybody to get together and talk. To show off our horse moose dog. This is Nano. He is our Great Dane. He's 14 weeks old. I shouldn't say our Great Dane. It's Brandon's service dog in training. So he weighs, he was 39.7 pounds this morning. He eats,
no, it's a couple days ago.
Oh, he eats 3.1 pounds of food a day.
No, it's 2.1.
Oh, 2.1, my mistake. He's usually quite cuddly, but now he's anxious. He's camera shy. But anywho, we will get started. Oh, basically, this is just a YouTube live or a live Q&A where we get together and talk about homesteading and self-sufficiency and gardening and rabbits and quail and whatever else story time happens. So, what is that shadow? What is that on the screen? I don't know.
Your shadows.
Oh.
Head,
it is. Okay.
The head shadow.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, anywho, get rolling into the comments. Verna is here. She is our moderator. Thank you very much for taking care of us, Verna. We greatly appreciate it. And then Ed as well. Ed Gotbait is our other moderator. I think Nana might have to go POTTY.
No, he just wants to chew on.
Oh. Jeff Martin is here and says, hey, all from warm Nebraska. It's still 67 degrees, but next week back to the 30s. Such a tease. That sucks. I mean, it's good that you have warm weather now, but... Flew the Coop Farms is here. How did you decide how big to make your quail barn? Well, it wasn't a quail barn to begin with. It was supposed to be a tool shed, and then it was going to be a turkey, half turkey storage area, not storage, coop area or whatever. And then we decided to not have the turkeys because we were afraid the neighbors would have a hissy fit. So then we're like, hey, let's make it into a quail barn. And now we have a quail barn. We do need a bigger one. We outgrew it before we even put the quail in there. So, I thought I clicked. Sorry. Jesse Mills is in the house. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jesse. Everybody's saying hi to each other. I'll just kind of skip past those. Travis Hansen said, can't wait till we hit the 60s here in northern Minnesota. We've been in the high 20s, but the next couple nights is going to be back to the negative 30s. Gross. You can keep that over there. I don't want it. We already had that. We did our time. Thank you very much. Little Ridge Farm says, good evening, y'all. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. And Ed Got Bait. I'm sorry. Ed Got Bait says, yay, the puppy. Yes, he is a sweetheart. Brandon actually took a Snapchat, was it last night? And he sent it to me. I kid you not, Nano's head was on my pillow. Yes, my pillow.
Oh, that one.
Yes. And he's like, Kristen's going to have to find a different bed to sleep in. I'm like...
Yeah, because he was all sprawled out on Kristen's side of the bed.
Like, he literally was in my spot. And I was really upset. But then I moved him over and laid down, and it was really warm. And I was like, okay, I can deal with this. So, he's a pretty good cuddler. He's a pretty good boy. Oh, sorry. I don't know how to... I'm burning my lap with my laptop and then burning my hand. Peg P says, hi, Kristin and Berna, Northern California. Hello, Peg. Hope all is well over there. Little Ridge Farm says he's a midget horse for now. Yes, he's a pony. He's just a little pony. My little pony. Oh, I love you too, Mr. Nano. He has a little Batman toy in the truck. That's his truck toy. And I always hold it up. I'm like, Nano. Nobody laughs. I think it's hilarious. But anywho, Josh's Punk Rock Garden. I like that name. That's cool. Clever. Hey, from upstate New York. Got my pearl hatching eggs from you today. Yay! They'll be going into the incubator tomorrow after work. Awesome. I think I saw that you had posted on Newbie Quail Lovers or something that it had taken a little longer. So let us know how the hatch goes, or if you have any questions or anything. We'd be happy to help. I know the post office has been, like, I don't know what's going on. It's almost as bad as when it was the holidays. Earthquake, guys, hang on. Jeff Martin says, what do you use to tap a bucket to water your quail cages? Where did you get it? That is a Brandon question. Okay, we'll come back to that one.
Well, you can use bulkheads
they probably can't hear you because
they could hear me. Okay. Use bulkheads or a cord out tire stem will work.
I don't know what
tire stem without a core.
Alright, I don't know what that means, so I hope you guys do.
You can drill a 7/16 inch hole and have a tire stem and that'll work just fine. And attach hose to it.
I have learned a lot in the past, like, 2 years with, like, handy woman stuff. But I still have, like, nothing on Brandon at all. So, like, he basically just spoke a different language to me. So... Deals Quail says, good evening, everyone. Am I the only one ready to uncover their garden and get a head start on next year's food shortage? Right? It's ridiculous. I do have to say there are a lot of really, like, lit memes right now, though, about it. Oh my gosh, you guys, the gardening memes. Lit? Like, I work with a bunch of younger people. I'm trying to stay, like, young and hip. I just turned 30, man. Like, lit, like... cool, good, amazing, rad, groovy. There's a lot of really good memes right now, and there were some really good gardening memes, and I kind of spammed Jasmine with them because I know she wasn't feeling the best, and I was hoping it would make her smile, and I hope it did. But yeah, there's some really good memes. Speak of the devil, there she is. Jasmine Bassett's in the house. Hello, hello. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says that he agrees. Let's start on the food beginning stocking up. Genuine Toe Tag says, what do you use as a brooder? Several things. It depends on what's available and how many chicks we have. Okay, so we started with, like, Sterilite tubs from, Walmart or Lowe's or Target or whatever. And then for the first, like, week or so, we use, like, blue shop towels as a substrate on the bottom, and then we put the shavings thereafter. Then we saw, like, we've seen Zach set up, like, from my shire, like, he has lots of videos on it, and we kind of tried to mimic that, but a little bit smaller, because obviously he's got, like, a huge room, and we made it, like, mini. size. Ours has some design flaws, so we're hopefully going to combat that. But we basically have, what is that? Not PDF, like pressed. What?
MDF.
MDF PDF. Can you tell I work with technology? MDF. You're so cute. MDF, and I think we did some like 1x4s or 2x2s or
1x3s or 2x3s.
One of those numbers. I don't know. And then we used some coated wire and some hinges to make like a little lid. And we had those out in the quail barn. But as previously stated, we very quickly outgrew our quail barns, so we ended up not using the brooders because with the space lack thereof and the amount of quail and the design flaws, I was just like super over it. And then our son broke some of the light sockets for the heat lamps. And long story short, we're back to Sterilite tubs with brooder plates and or heat lamps because we have a lot of chicks. The struggle is real.
It's his stomach, not mine.
I was wondering if it was his stomach or it was his hinder making that noise.
Yeah. His stomach, he just ate half hour ago.
Jasmine says, I'm late, but I'm here. That's okay. We started slightly late because Brandon was poking his eyeball with a contact. So. And then Dale's Quails just said, Jeff Martin, we use bulkheads. Drill a hole in bucket and screw in bulkhead. I think that's what we did when I made my first chicken waterer with the kitty litter bucket. Is that what I used? Or is that what that was called, a bulkhead?
Yeah.
That worked really well. Okay, so I do know what you're talking about. I just didn't know I knew what you're talking about. I wouldn't know how to explain it. Brandon had some back issues when I built my very first like chicken water. The people at Menards probably thought like I was missing a few French fries to my Happy Meal because I was trying to explain what I needed, but I didn't know what it was called, and Brandon wasn't with me. And these poor people, they were amazing. Thank you, Menards in Plover, because they put up with me and helped me. It took a couple tries, but we got there. Jeff Martin says, what is a bulkhead? Where to get them? Menards! They're by the plumbing section. Can you explain it? It's like a plasticky, rubbery thing to seal up against the plastic so it doesn't leak, and then you can attach PVC or tubing or whatever. But if you go to Menards or a hardware store and ask for a bulkhead, right? Is that all you would ask for? Or is it a special kind? Are there different kinds of bulkheads? Or is bulkhead a bulkhead?
There's different kinds.
What kind should they ask for?
Well, probably one with the hose.
A bulkhead for a hose?
Yeah, and I don't know if they have them there or not.
He's very vocal. Goodness. He's going to steal the show. He wants to go sleepy. Jeff Sapp says, hello all from Central Missouri. Had record high of 81 today. Currently 70. Wow, that sounds amazing, honestly. Oh, now everybody's paying attention to Nano. Nano, so dadgum cute. He is. He's a sweetheart. He's got slobber on me though. Dale's Quail said, Jeff, you can order them off Amazon. Also get at hardware stores. We sell/use 5/16 bulkheads with all our kits. There you go. And then Ed did post Ed's cages in the description. What did I say?
Ed's.
Oh, Ed posted Dale's link to his cages. So check him out. He's got very nice, sturdy cages, family owned and operated. Yeah, cages and brooders and all sorts of fun stuff. So check him out. Genuine Toe Tag said, when you feed Nano a quail, did you feed whole feathers, guts, and all?
Yep.
Yes. If you're squeamish, let's close your ears for a sec. So first we gave it to Latte, and she was like, what am I supposed to do with this? So then we like ripped the skin a little bit so that the breast was exposed, and she still was like not having it. So Nano had already had breakfast. So then for lunch, was it lunch or dinner? Something. Brandon gave it to him, and he ate it, feathers and all, like whatever. And I don't know.
All the wing feathers, everything.
Just the whole thing, the whole quail.
Yep.
And I don't remember how much later it was, and all of a sudden he irped it all back up. And he proceeded to eat the herb off the floor. So he did eat it twice. The second time it did not come back up. I don't know if that's...
I don't know why he did that.
I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. Yeah, maybe his stomach was upset from something else. So we will try again, but we wanted to give his tummy a little rest.
He eats chicks just fine.
Yeah. Danes are prone to like tummy issues. So funny story. We call our chicks, our like little frozen chicks, Scooby snacks. Like, you know, we do have some that fall in the water and drown, and like chick like deaths happen. So we throw them in the freezer, like for the falconers, and we call them Scooby snacks. And then I actually gave them to my one friend who has a hawk, like as a snack to try out because she wasn't sure if her hawk would like them. Well, those of you that don't know, Scooby-Doo is a Great Dane, but he has like cropped ears. That's why they're like pointy. Well, he's a Great Dane. And like we call them Scooby snacks before we knew we were getting a Dane, but this Dane also loves Scooby snacks, so it's amazing.
Sit there.
Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, I think Wynola Ranch sells those tire stems without the core for watering systems. I think our stuff came with all that, didn't it? We just had to buy the reservoir. We had to buy the little tub to put it in. And also, just worth mentioning, you were asking about brooders. We do have a video on how to set up brooders and like different ideas and like supplies for them. And then we also... Did you show you showed the water reservoir in the Wynola Ranch cage video. We also said something about like how to house your quail or something. And we showed the water reservoir on top of the Wynola Ranch cages. So Verna said, that's okay, Kristin. Just know you will be learning all your life. Yeah, hopefully I learn how to talk because I've been really struggling. I can't even English lately.
You can talk.
No, that's the problem. Joy Guthrie is here. Hello, all from Western Oregon. Put 106 eggs in the incubator last night. Holy moly, that's awesome. Good for you. Hope it goes well for you. If you have any questions or need any help, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help out if you need. Ed shared a link on how to install horizontal nipples without leaks. Yeah, that was one of my struggles when I built my chicken waterer. The nipples were leaking, but then I learned about like PVC tape is what I ended up using to make it stop leaking, like where the nipples went in the PVC pipe. Witch Doctor is here from Nevada, Las Vegas. Hi, y'all, or hi, yeah. Ricky Ward is also here, says, hi guys, hello. I hope your 4th gen cellies are wonderful. I can't remember if you said you set them or if they were hatching, but let me know. I'd love to talk to you about that actually. So, send us a message or send me a message, whatever. Peg P says, it was so nice today at 72 degrees. You guys are so rude. I'm just kidding. I got the garden fever, but I see our weather going to 45 to 60s next week and rain expect on Friday. Ugh. Yeah, we have started our seeds indoors, but like honestly, a lot of my stuff is so in place or like direct sow because it's quick. I don't know if it's is it because it's quick growing that you don't need to start it early, like cucumbers and zucchinis and all that. Yeah. A lot of my flowers, I think I'm going to start now, even though it says direct sow, because I'm like, well, they sell, like a lot of the flowers, seeds I bought, they sell at the store in containers. So I'm like, obviously they can be transplanted because I bought them as starts before. Yeah, but some stuff is harder to transplant, right? Because the roots aren't like solid. I also was killing some of our plants, but Brandon saved them. and he explained to me what I was doing wrong. I was overwatering them. But Jasmine said, yes, love those hilarious garden memes. I laughed a lot. Sadly, I related on too many of them. Yes, I was like legit snorting. They were really good. Yes. PDF, MDF, same thing, right? Shh, it's okay. I don't know. Dale says, you can also use arborvitaes. Yes, that's a fantastic idea. We just had a lot of tubs beforehand, and then we thought, oh, we'll build, you know, we had like extra scrap wood laying around, so we were gonna like use what we had. But Dale, oh, Dale has some really nice brooders. In fact, they get shown on there was a video that Living Traditions Homestead did, that Dale got a huge, like, awesome shout out from them, and they show his brooders. So they are good brooders. I just don't have one, but I have seen them in person and I like the idea. Jeff Martin says, I have 5 184 whole trays of cool season crops up. Come on spring, right? Like TikTok, I'm ready to go now. That was actually one of the memes I sent Jasmine or tagged her in. It was like a cat standing up on his hind legs and he's like staring at a snowbank, and it says something about like staring at my garden waiting for winter to be over or something along those lines. I'm like, yes. Adrian Ryder, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I did not. Adrian Ryder said, hi from upstate New York. I think there's somebody else there's a couple New Yorkers here because Josh Punk Rock Garden was from there too. S.O. Swanson, I love Dale's brooder. The medium is bigger than medium. I hate to see a large version. Yes. Also, thank you, Steve and Brooke from Cali Quail Keepers both sent me birthday presents. So thank you very much for thinking of me. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, Berna said the camera was freezing on and off. I hope it's not anymore. Let me know. It might have been because Brandon was messing with the camera, so I don't know if that's when it was. Yes, I forgot. I forgot my announcements. I don't know what I do with my notebook. So yes, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We're trying to go a little bit more ham on the videos. It's very hard, like with working and everything. It's a lot, but I'm trying to keep up on it. We're trying to be good. And now that Christmas and stuff is over, that helps a little bit, and it's getting like nicer out, so it makes us more not want to lay in bed all day. Dale's Quails says, haha, SO, the next size up is a stacking set. That sounds like an excellent idea. Ricky Board says, we use those big green eye wash stations. That way I get 9 gallons versus 5 gallon bucket. Oh, that's a good idea. Debbie at She Shed Homestead said he sounds like a cow. The dog, I hope you mean? Oh, with his grunting and stuff, maybe? Yeah. Jackie Watkins says, what is your biggest meat, Quail, and how do Celadon lay compare to Coturnix? So our Celadons are Coturnix, but I think you just mean like how does a Celadon lay to a standard? So, okay, first part, what is our biggest meat quail? That would be our jumbo pharaohs, and we also have jumbo Egyptians. Our fab fees are also fairly large, so like right now we are like way booked out on jumbos and celadons and pearls, I believe. But our fab fees are still in stock, and those are large and in charge. Like they don't average over 10 ounces, but they're really close. They average like 9.7 ounces at 10 weeks, so they're super close, but they're some hefty birds. So I really like those. But if you're looking for meat, any of the jumbos, jumbo farrow, jumbo Egyptian, jumbo whites, Zach has at my Shire. And then there's also jumbo white wings that Zach has at my Shire. We only have the jumbo Egyptians and jumbo pharaohs, and the fab fees. I've been working on my fab fees for a really long time, so Zach has videos on how big his birds are, so you can check those out if you like. If you can't get a hold of what you're looking for and you want maybe some different ideas and we don't have it or whatever. So, and then as far as how to Celadon lay, they seem a little more picky, honestly, as far as like, and maybe it has more to do with like where they are in the barn, but it seems like, we put plastic on the window and that scared them, so they stopped laying, but everybody else was fine. Like they seem more touchy maybe, and maybe that's just our birds, or maybe it's because they're in a different spot in the barn than everybody else. I'm not sure. And then their eggs are smaller than a jumbo, but they are about the size of the standard size, like the pearls and Egyptian fee and all that good stuff. Adrienne Ryder says, my daughter tried to sneak her quail into bed with her, but made the mistake of taking in the roo, so she just got caught. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That's adorable. My son had a quail under his arm. Well, it wasn't under his arm. I think it was like in the crook of his elbow while he was doing chores. He was just like carrying it around. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just hanging out with the quail. I'm like, okay. Verna said Nano just ate it too fast. That is why he had to eat it twice. That would make sense, because Deans are known for that as well. We have to be very careful with him. I can't think of the word. Jasmine probably will know. But like after they eat, their stomachs can twist, like if they play. So, or like if they eat too fast and stuff like that. So as soon as he eats, he goes in the kennel. But yeah, that would make sense if he just ate it too fast. Jasmine said, any tips for building hatcher boxes for the Frigibator? I am switching to 1/4 inch hardware cloth because the 1/2 inch allows the fluffs to get their head stuck. Lockdown is coming Monday. That would be a question for you, dear. He just got in with Nano. Do they make 1/4 by 1/2 inch, I wonder? If that would work? No.
1/4 by 1/4.
Huh?
Just 1/4 by 1/4.
Just 1/4 by 1/4 or 1/2 by 1/2. I almost wonder if, so I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if we've ever shown it, like in our videos for our rabbits, we have these like rabbit foot rest mats. I feel like those would get really gross, but they're plastic, so you can wash them. But there's these like rabbit easy floor mat or easy rest mat, it's called. It's kind of like a piece of plastic that like snaps into the wire, and then they can sit on that so that it gets them off the wire itself. I almost wonder if something like that would work. I'll just send you a picture. But other than that, I don't have an idea, unfortunately. Unless, I mean, if you're talking in the hatcher, we put down that sticky, like...
yeah, if their heads are getting stuck, they're probably getting stuck on the sides and stuff.
Yeah, could you bring that up the side then?
I would just use 1/4 by 1/4 wire.
I wasn't thinking, I was thinking you meant like in the brooder for some reason, so you need the poop to fall through. But Flew the Coop Farms says, it was so nice today they got potatoes and onions in. Your ground is not frozen? I'm so jealous. So jealous. In Wisconsin, we have this wonderful thing where spring comes, but the ground is still frozen. So the snow melts on top, but the ground is frozen, so it all sits on top, and it's like a lake everywhere. Unfortunately, a lot of turkeys end up dying because they build ground nests. like in the wild. Yeah. Dale's Quill says Jasmine used plastic mesh, this stuff for crafts. So hopefully that helps. Ed Got Bait says, I think Nano needs some WD-40. LOL. So squeaky. Yes. Verna says, I have Dale's special made small brooder. Yes, it was so cute, but it's perfect. And Dale is fantastic that he was able to customize that for you. It's awesome. Jasmine. Oh, Dale, that's smart. Can you be my neighbor? LOL. I can glean all the work smarter and harder tips from you. How you connect the sides. Yeah, I still think we should just buy a big chunk of community land or just buy a bunch of land like next to each other, and we'll all have our own little jobs and it'll be amazing. That would be sweet. I wish we were all neighbors. Kelly Quail Keeper says, saying hi, I'm busy with 2 pigs just dropped off. It never ends. Where did those come from? Since when do you have pigs? That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you got some bacon. I mean pigs. Jennifer Meyer says, he is so sweet. I have a 110 crybaby that sounds just like that. Yeah, he's only going to get bigger. Dale's Quill says, LOL, Jasmine, sorry, not nearly cold enough down there for us. As for the mesh, I use yarn and sew it like it's a craft. Debbie at She Should Homestead said, hi from Appleton, Wisconsin. Hello, hello. You're super close. Hopefully we'll see you at a swap or something like that. We're being very picky with where we're going and when and everything just because of avian influenza, just biosecurity and stuff. So hopefully we'll see you around. We also go to a lot of rabbit shows. I don't know if you have any rabbits, but Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, Jasmine, could you just use zip ties to connect the mesh pieces? Jasmine says, all you smart people, thank you guys for your ideas, Dale and Josh. And Debbie said yes, she means the dog with the cow noises. Kermit J99 says, hello from Mississippi. I am close to Steve. Jasmine says, we still get snow. You would adjust and think just how nice a longer growing season you could have and all the free ranging duck. Yes. Anne is here, says Ohio here. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Sorry. I logged day. I'm so sorry. Jasmine, bloat. Yes, thank you. I knew you would know the word. I couldn't think of the word.
What your problem?
Huh? Like when they eat too fast, like beans, or they like eat and then they play because their stomach twists. Vernon said another thing that helps against twisted gut, Kristin's putting their food up on a riser. Yeah, Brandon wants to actually build him a stand. We weren't sure like how big he was gonna get. Like we have the measurements of his parents, so that kind of gives us a general idea. But Watkins Wildlife says, hi, this is Luke Watkins. I won the 18 and under contest at my shire. Just wanted to thank you all for all the stuff and say glad to see you do live feeds as well. Thanks again. Yeah, you're very welcome. We hope you enjoy everything and that you do well. And we look forward to seeing updates and stuff. So it's awesome. Nana's being naughty. Jasmine says, hi, Luke, how's the quail journey going? Yeah, Jasmine's little brother won a couple months ago, and that was super cool and exciting to see him win. Super happy for you guys. It's a really great program. Like Zach has been doing it for a while, and we have a very similar mission with my shire. Like we want to get everybody into quail, and we want to make sure that this farming thing isn't, and self-sufficiency and homesteading doesn't become a lost art. So we really want to get the next generation into it. And like I even mentioned in our quail butcher video that our kids came up to us and asked if they could learn how to butcher quail. Sorry. And that was like a really proud parent moment because I was like, sure. Like I was a little shocked. And they both did really, really good. They didn't like do a whole one themselves, but they did help dispatch. Yes, thank you. Them. And they did okay with it. So, and we talked about like why it's important, you know, and that even though what we're doing is hard, that it's a good thing because they had a good life and we know where our food is coming from. And they did watch us fully butcher them, so they like understand where our food came from and stuff. So, and they've been like around while we've done it before, but they've never like stood and like watched the whole thing like start to finish. So that was neat. Witch Doctor says, you know, I want to co-op. Yeah, we just have to decide a location, and then, you know, there'll be taxes because Uncle Sam's got to have his part, so then we got to figure all that out. So, but yeah, it would be, I wish we all lived closer. I'd posted our website, so please go check us out. We have lots of pictures and products and all that good stuff. And as soon as we get caught up on orders, our stuff will be back online. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, you guys. I need some coffee. Richard Brown is here. Hello from East Tennessee, ready for spring, 74 today. Well, welcome to the channel. I don't appreciate you rubbing your weather in my face. That's okay. That's good for you. I see everybody posting, like putting their plants, like in all these gardening groups, people are like planting their stuff outside and like getting stuff ready and spring cleaning, like outside in the yard and stuff. I'm like, I wish. But good for you. Go for it. I'm happy for you. Jealous, but also happy. Jasmine says, are you guys going to sell the rabbit kits or do you plan to butcher for meat? What age would you do either? So it depends on how they turn out. The one black one with the really bad bold star will probably be a cull, most likely, because a star is very, very frowned upon for silver fox. Galaxy had a star when he was born and it did molt out. So it can go away. And our one silver fox with a star, the one that actually had the nest box eye, that one seems to be fading. So I have hope for that one. Its eye is doing decent. It's not great, but that one might be okay, at least for a brood. The chocolate is nice and healthy and hopping around. And then we have a black without a star is also hopping around just fine. So I'm very hopeful for the two without a star, and I have the fading star.
12 weeks.
But we will evaluate and everything at 12 weeks, and that's when we'll decide. Sometimes breeders will hold them for another 4 weeks or so to see, you know, because sometimes rabbits won't pose. It's kind of hard to tell if they're going to be showable or if they are for meat. So we'll find out. We might sell some, but first and foremost, we're trying to build up our herd. And Aurora is not lifting, so we need to replace her. We do have Eclipse and Elsa, but Elsa is old, and I really want some show rabbits. Like, I want to be able to go show and do well. We hopefully can do some more shows here and give Galaxy another chance because we learned a lot at the show, but I really don't feel like he had a fair chance. And I'll leave it at that. So I'm hoping we can visit another show where he is up against competition, up against fair competition. So. Jasmine says, yes, Zeke is still loving raising quail. He butchered his excess males and he just started incubating his first batch of eggs from his quail and he cannot wait to see what colors they make. That's awesome. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm so excited. That's like amazing. Otis says, hello all from Kentucky. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Verna said, that is why I am drinking, or that is what I am coffee. Yeah, I have, like, I can't ever seem to balance out what a good amount of coffee is. I either drink, or caffeine, like I either drink too much or not enough. Callie Quail Keeper says, so I have an exchange policy people might consider if raising quail for profit. I take back roos for chicks or eggs, which I sell to falconry or for other uses. Just more incentive. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would definitely consider like having a separate area for them though. If you do MPIP or anything like that, or just like general biosecurity. I know it feels like everybody's talking about that like right now, which makes sense. But my only concern would be, they went to a farm and were potentially exposed to something because you don't have control of other people's farms, and then you bring them back and then put your flock at risk for something. So just kind of keep that in mind. But that's a really good idea to offer that to people, kind of like a trade-in. Jasmine says, we got 78 degrees today, had the house windows open, but spring isn't quite here yet. The bees were out and foraging already. The geese are mating and laying eggs too, so spring is near. Good. I haven't seen any robins yet. Have you? No? No robins yet, and my grandma used to say the snow has to fall and the robins back 3 times before spring is actually here. So we get a bunch of false springs, basically, before it's actually summer. So. And Jeff Martin says, yeah, that's a good idea, and everybody's just saying that they also agree with that. So, good idea. Richard Brown says, rabbit sausage is good. That does sound good. I know Tiffany from Tealstone Homestead one time on her Instagram story posted that they did rabbit burgers, rabbit bacon burgers maybe, and they looked amazing. Oh, my mouth is watering. Because then if I remember right, they also had like tomatoes and lettuce that they grew themselves, like the entire thing, like their entire meal was stuff they made, and I think that's super cool. So goals. Jasmine Bass says, I can't speak. I'm sorry, you guys. I was invited to join a new farmer's market and asked to sell quail eggs. Any tips on participating in a small farmer's market? Displays, quantities. I would just say first check to see what the requirements are in your state. I know we kind of talked about, well, you and I talked about meat, I think. So just see what kind of labeling requirements there are to selling in your area. Because most likely you're going to have to at least get some type of label. We just use like the Avery labels from Walmart or whatever, and we print our own. It doesn't have to be anything real fancy. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I'm all about keeping costs low. I would say, maybe get something with your farm name on it. Have some business cards handy. If you're selling eggs, see if you can get some egg scissors. You can maybe have some samples of like pickled eggs for people to try. Again, you have to check with rules like with COVID and stuff. Maybe people would be weird about that. I don't know. And maybe, I know there's been some images floating around of, I think it was in Quail in the Kitchen actually, about like the nutritional value of a quail egg versus chicken versus whatever. Because one of the questions we get asked most often is, do they taste different? So have that answer ready. Another thing people ask a lot is, well, how many quail eggs equals a chicken egg? And we always say 3 to 4. Yeah. Maybe take some recipes and stuff too for quail eggs so people can see like, hey, yeah, you can make all these things with quails just like anything else. And maybe demonstrate how to use a quail egg scissors, how to open them properly. As far as quantities, I would say probably sell in 12 or 18 packs. That seems to be the norm. Witch Doctor says, we jump right into summer. Those 110 to 115 days are just around the corner. Yes, that actually, I'm so cold. Like that sounds amazing. I've gone to Vegas a couple times with my mom and then my cousin, and whenever I see those temperatures, I was like, oh, it's just a dry heat. I'm like, I don't care. That's hot. It feels so good though. Like I went, all 3 times I went were in February actually. And it's so cold. You're literally cold down to your bone. And then you go there and you're like, oh, it feels so good. So that sounds good right now, but I'm sure it gets old fast. I'm sure it's hard to keep your crops watered sufficiently. Ed Got Bait posted the NPIP website, so they talk about how to go about the requirements and like good guidelines to follow, and then there should be links as well to your state requirements, as well as like who to contact to get tested, and who to ask questions and stuff. Those people, at least I guess I can only really speak for the Wisconsin people. They are so smart. Like the one guy, the Myron, his first name is Myron. I can't remember his last name. Is literally doctor. Like his name says like Dr. Myron, blah blah blah. The main lady that I talk to the most is Margie from Wisconsin. She is like amazing. She's usually really quick at getting back to me. She answers all my questions, and it's good to have those people on your side for sure. Kelly Quill Keeper says, excuse me. Kelly Quill Keepers says, I've only done trade for falconry. Call immediately. They need more than I can supply. Okay, good. Awesome. So you are already on it. I should know that you know better. Yeah, same with us for the falconers. Like, we cannot hatch and grow them fast enough. Like, they're just back to back to back to back. So it's a good thing. A little overwhelming, but it's a good thing. My husband says, Mel, yes, I have friends in Vegas and can't believe how different the growing seasons are there. Yeah. That's why it's always fun to see how other people grow stuff. Even like Dale, for instance, he's not terribly far away from us, but it is different. It's strange. Yeah. Verna said, my sweet potato slips are growing like crazy. That's awesome. We purchased some potato starts and some onions. I don't know when we're picking those up, but I guess as soon as the ground is thawed, so, like 4th of July, we'll get those in the ground. And we'll have to meet up with Dale because we went in on, did we go on potatoes and onions or just both? Yeah, so we have to split those. So hopefully we can check that out. Dale has been here. So I would love to go see Dale set up and play with all his ducks and his Bob Whites, and if he's got the buttons still. Otis said, I'm thinking about doing a farmer's market. Great question, Jazz. Yes, that was a very good question. That would be a good question. And I think even Brooke, honestly, posting in Quail for Profit, those would all be really good like conversation starters. So feel free to post over there. That's a group on Facebook. There's also Quail in the Kitchen, Newbie Quail Lovers, Quail Call, Self-Sufficient Quail. I feel like Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, Quail. But they're all really good groups. Watkins Wildlife says, when you get quail from other farms, do you keep them in quarantine from yours before adding to the flock? I have never gotten live quail from another farm, so no, I do not. But yes, I would. When we buy, like when we got our peacock last fall, or anytime we in the past had gotten like chickens, rabbits, anything, we do quarantine. For the chickens, we did 2 weeks. The rabbits, we do 30. But that was when the RHID or RFID, I know it's not RFID, but is a rabbit hemorrhage something disease 2. Sounds awful. Basically, the rabbit like bleeds to death internally and it comes out their nose and stuff, and it sounds awful. That was running around for a while as well. A couple months ago. It's kind of like the AI of rabbits, I guess. So yes, quarantine is good. Keep them far away, and then obviously keep in mind like not only just spatially, but like if you go touch the ones that are in quarantine, wash up, wash your boots, change your clothes, like because a lot of these like diseases and viruses and stuff can be transported on your skin, your clothes, in your hair with like dander and stuff. Poop, obviously, like on your boots. So. Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping past the side conversations. Purple Schooly Girl says, hello everyone from Tucson, Arizona. Hello. For a long time, I used to think it was Tuscan. So, but coming from me, that shouldn't really surprise anybody. I was one of those kids, like growing up, I read a lot, but didn't talk a lot, maybe that is apparent because I have trouble speaking sometimes. I was never in like speech class though, so I don't know. But there are a lot of words out there where I know what they are, like when I read them, but I don't know what they sound like out loud. And I mean, this was like when you look it up in the dictionary and you could try to like figure it out. But does anybody, not many people actually understand what those like upside down letters and stuff are. So, and like you couldn't Google it, you know, like I don't think we had a computer till I was in maybe like 6th grade or something. So, yeah. I know a lot. I know stuff, but I don't know how to say stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Ironically. S.O. Swanson said, did I miss the question? Is that your quail that was in the restaurant dish picture? It was. So our video that we did, or the Halloween out quail video, the non-spatchcock quail video, was a special order that we had for the restaurant in town that we've been selling eggs and stuff to, or the chef there, and then he uses them at the restaurant. That was our quail. They did a Mardi Gras theme last night, and that was one of the things. We didn't get to go this time. We went the other 2 times, but it was like Cajun sausage stuffed quail on like corn. I don't know. It was all like Louisiana, like Cajun stuff, and it looked amazing. My mouth is watering again. I'm obviously hungry. They posted all the different pictures of the dishes over on their Facebook page. It's just called Chef's Kitchen in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And it looked really good. So, and when we dropped the quail off, like I will tell you, it smelled amazing. Like, and if that's what the prep smells like, I can only imagine like what the meals taste like. But I love that picture because it makes me think of like in the Titanic when the girl's like on the couch and she's like, pay me like one of your French girls, because the quail's leg is like up in the air. I'm weird, I know, sorry. Otis says, I'm on the hunt to try sheep's milk. It's the quail egg of the milk world. Interesting. I suppose, yeah, I guess why not? Hua G says, hey guys. Hey, thanks for joining us. Verna posted the link to all the information and tickets and such for QuailCon 2022. So that will be Labor Day weekend this year. It is going to be a 2-day event. So definitely get your tickets now. There are camping passes, but I believe those are running short. Tickets are selling faster than we thought they were going to, which is a good thing. So get them while you can, get them now. I am in the process of designing the t-shirts, so when those are available, I'll let you guys know. We're working on lots of fun stuff, but stay tuned to our channel and Zach's channel and Slightly Redneck's channel. We're all like, kind of trickling information out and stuff. Slowly, like obviously we don't want to give away all of our secrets because then what's the fun of that? But we will give you little hints along the way. So it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. Like last year was even more amazing than I could have ever imagined. And this year we're somehow making it better. Like last year when we were done, I'm like, how could this possibly be any better? Like it was amazing. But we're fixing. There were a couple like little logistical things, like the food truck, for instance, that we're gonna get around. And those were easy fixes. Like that's not a big deal. But then some of the stuff where I thought it went really good, we're like, okay, it went good, but like let's do this to improve it. So I'm really excited for everybody that's coming, whether this is your first time or your second year. And I look forward to meeting you all again, or for the first time. Debbie at She Shed Homestead said, I am super new at this. How and do I get in contact for falconry? First I reached out to just like rescues and stuff, and a lot of them asked for donations. And then I kind of just got to know them. So I guess you could ask around like on Facebook and stuff too. like in swaps and stuff. Or like we have a lot of like swap and like chicken sale groups and things around here, so that's where I find a lot of those people. Reptile stuff is a good thing too, but reptiles gross me out. So, and I know everybody says that only people that don't know reptiles don't like reptiles. Well, I guess I don't know them then because I don't like them. Verna posted all of the links to the Facebook groups I mentioned in the comments, so please check that out. Ed Got Pete says they didn't have computers when I was in school at all. Oh my goodness. So my daughter is doing a report at school on different states, and she decided to pick Colorado because that's where I was born. And she thought it was cool, whatever. And they're supposed to look stuff up in books. Well, we have a Google, and she asks it questions. And I looked at my husband like, you know what? When I was her age and I had to do reports on stuff, you know what I did? I had to go dig out the encyclopedia and flip through it and read. And like, I'm like, now the kids are just like, okay, Google, what's the capital of Colorado? I was hoping it wouldn't answer me. I was hoping it wouldn't hear me. I'm surrounded by the AI overlords. And I don't mean avian influenza. Trek 3 Warden is in the house. As Kristin, I was the same. Could spell the word, knew what it meant, but couldn't pronounce it without a dictionary. Yeah, and even with a dictionary, like when they have it like phonetically spelled out or whatever, because you have to know what those different symbols and when stuff is upside down, and like obviously everybody knows like the dash over a vowel means long, but then you have sometimes they're upside down, they have the little like dippy thing on it. So I'm sure those all have words or names, but Verna said I started when 64K memory itself was the size of an upright freezer. Holy mackerel. Oh, and then yes, there is a QuailCon Facebook group as well. So once you buy your tickets and everything, or if you want to ask some questions, join us over there. Oh, also I should mention, if you do want to join any of those groups, please, please, please answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, we're going to think you're a spammer and we won't let you in. So just answer them honestly and appropriately like we ask, and we would be happy to have you. So. Psycho Ward 360 says standard quail eat 1.5 ounces per day and jumbos eat 2 ounces a day. Zach said, so it's a fact. LOL. Yeah, I think that's about what we figured. I can't remember, or no, it takes us $1 to raise a quail. I wrote it down. It's in my notebook. Because when we were trying to figure out how much we wanted to charge the falconers, we're like, well, first we need to figure out how much it costs us to raise them to the point where they were at the weight that they wanted them. And we figured it out. So, yeah. Psycho Ward 360 says, also fun fact, eggs are averaging 5 to 8 cents each. I don't know what you mean. Like at the grocery store? Oh, cost to get them out of the quail. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a long day, you guys. Brandon is like looking at me like, are you serious right now? Jasmine said, LOL, yes, that encyclopedia life. I can't remember where we got our first encyclopedia set. Because they were expensive and they were huge. Like they were very expensive. And I think they must have come out like every year or something, because the ones we got were actually like 5 years old or something. And like, I don't know, my mom or grandma or somebody bought them for super cheap or secondhand or whatever from the library. I have no idea. They smell funny. I do know that.
You're lucky to even have one. I never had one.
You didn't have encyclopedias?
No.
Did you have to use the ones at the school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool story.
We weren't allowed to use computers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you had to use the encyclopedia. Just make me mad.
When we first learning about encyclopedias and how to use them, I actually already knew how to use them because we had the hand-me-down encyclopedias. So obviously the ones at the school were like the newest version, or only like a year or two old, and ours were way old, so they were a little bit out of date. But that was one of the things I brought to show and tell in 4th grade was my encyclopedia, because I was so excited. I can't remember. I think it was something about Native Americans. It was one of like the Native American tribes, because we were learning about the different tribes. And I went home and looked in my encyclopedia about it, and there was way more information than the school had given us. And I was like, look, this is what we're talking about. There's more information. Like I was like highlighting stuff. And my nerd. Yes, I am. I love information. Information overload. Jasmine. And yeah. Jasmine knows that I love me some info. Lots of info. All the info. Must have info. Witch Doctor says, are the QuillCon t-shirts on your website? They are not yet, but they will be. So I have a few different ideas in my head. I was going to work on them this weekend, and then the days got away from me. But yeah, they probably won't be available until the summer, I'd say, because I don't want to start selling them too soon either. But yeah. Witch Doctor says, my grandpa used to sell encyclopedias door to door. Wow. Like he had them with him and had to like drag them, or he had like a catalog and tried to sell them and then they were delivered. I would not want to drag encyclopedias around. Those buggers were heavy. And some of the encyclopedias, you know, this, I guess for any kids watching, because now I'm going to really age myself because I hit 30.
You're not old. Shut up.
I am old. I hit 30. I'm old as dirt. Soil. Some of the letters, because there'd be like one book was A, one book was B, or whatever, but some of the letters were split up because there was so much, like S. There was like SH and then S whatever. I can't remember how they were split up. I'm pretty sure that my encyclopedias are still in my mom and dad's basement. They don't get used, obviously, because they're super old, but that's info from my Shire's video tonight. Oh, the eating the ounces. I didn't get to watch it. I just got home from work, so I will watch it later. I apologize. I didn't get to my homework yet, you guys. I'm behind on watching Living Traditions too. It makes me kind of sad. It's weird. Is it weird that I missed them because I haven't watched their videos? I feel like I haven't talked to a friend in a long time or something, you know. S.O. Swanson said, Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedia you bought weekly at the grocery store. Interesting. What do you mean, like you buy one letter book each week and it was split up? Or... Psycho War 360 says, sorry, our cost in food makes the eggs 5 to 8 cents each. Interesting. That is a good thing to know. Good for you. Witch Doctor said he had a full set of encyclopedias in his trunk to show. Well, I'm glad he didn't have to carry them or cart them like on a wagon. Because that would suck. I remember carrying that when I carried the encyclopedia to school, just the one letter. It was heavy. My backpack was heavy. Oh, I didn't, of course, I didn't put you two together because I've seen, Jackie, I've seen your name before. Oh my gosh, it makes so much sense now. So Jackie Watkins is Luke's dad. We are really thinking of going to QuailCon. He's really doing good with his page and selling. We try to support them. That's good. That's awesome. Bernice says, Kristin, you are younger than my baby. Yes, I get frequently told that I'm not old, even though I hit 30. Although my son, when we were eating dinner, I'm like, oh, I'm 30. He's like, yeah, you're halfway to 60. And I'm like, thanks for the reminder, you little turd. He's so cute. He's lucky he's cute. Little Ridge Farm says standard quail 5 cents an egg, jumbo 8 cents an egg. Ed Got Beat says if you're old as dirt at 30, what am I at 55? Well-aged soil. Berta said, Ed Got Bait, we're dust. Okay, ash to ash, dust to dust, right? We all go back to where we came from, back to the dirt. Oh, I just scrolled weird and I lost my spot. I'm sorry. S.O. Swanson said, yep, buy a letter per book till you had them all. That's super cool, I suppose. So you didn't have to drag like a giant, like the entire set. So that's really cool that there was different ways. Because like I said, I have no idea how we got those encyclopedias. They were obviously very clearly used. And we, like we had a place to live and everything, like, and we had food on the table, but we didn't grow up like, we didn't buy extravagant, expensive things or anything like that. Like we bought used, and they showed up one day and I don't really know where they came from. So it's kind of interesting to see where people got them like new, and that's
sell them on TV.
And that probably, that's cool. That probably like helped break up the cost too, because you weren't paying for the entire set at once. You're just buying the one book per week. So yeah, like I said, I'm guessing like we got them from a school or library or something. That would make sense, I guess. Or maybe an auction. We used to go to a lot of auctions when I was younger. That was like the thing to do, like in the summer in Wisconsin. Go to the auctions. Yoder Amish auctions are the bomb if you are in central Wisconsin. Like they know how to auction stuff. Like I used to always be like, I can't understand them. Why are they talking all that gibberish? And my mom is like, when you're older, you'll be able to understand them. And we went like right after I had my son. So I was 20. And I was like, oh my God, I can understand them. So, but I was always told, don't scratch your nose when we're at the auction because they'll think you're bidding. S.O. Swanson said, I'm not saying how old I am, but I planted the gopher trees that Noah bought to build the ark. That's funny. Clever. Verna said, I didn't say dust, lol. That was Little Ridge Farm. I'm a bit older than that. So that makes me a goddess. There you go. Verna said, glad you found that amusing. To be 30 again would be nice. That's what everybody says. Everybody's like, your 30s are going to be your best decade. And I'm like, okay. I think it's just that, like, I'm upset. I'm like, okay, I'm not a young adult anymore. I have to be an adult, like a real adult. So, funny story. At work, we have, like, if there is a customer issue and somebody needs a manager, like in my department, what they used to have was like a little cube. It was made with a bright piece of paper, and that was like to catch my attention, so when I was walking by I could see it and come help them. Well, then the one day somebody thought it would be smart to write I need an adult on there, and actually the one person that wrote that on there was one of the people that was older than me. I think mostly everybody else is younger than me, I think. I was like, what do you mean you need an adult? I'm like, I need an adult. And he's like, well, I need an adultier adult. I'm like, like, so sometimes when I'm like, I don't know what to do, I need an adult. So then like, I'll go pick the brain of like, brainstorm with some of the other managers and stuff. But yeah.
Just tell them about the excitement we had last night.
That sounds awful. Okay, so now I have to explain it. I don't even remember how it panned out. I don't know. I was finishing cleaning Brooders and I came upstairs. Oh, yeah, so I went to wash my hand. No. Okay, first I got a message on my phone that our washer encountered an error and I needed to go fix it. So we thought that the washer was just unbalanced. So I went in there and I like rearranged it and started it again. And it was taking forever to fill up. So I was like, okay, well, I had one more brooder to clean. So I did that while I was waiting for that. So then I went to go wash my hands because I was doing the brooder. And I turned the faucet on and it like barely trickled out. I'm like, oh God, we must have broke a pipe. So then I went to the bathroom, like that's right there too, and it also didn't work. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense because it'd probably be the same pipe. Like, I don't know how plumbing works. Okay. Well, then I went into the washroom to see if the washer was filling because I was like, well, obviously the washer is getting water, and I look in there and it's like it had been 5 minutes and there's like no water in there. I'm like, uh-oh. So I went and I told Brandon, like, Brandon, we have no water. He's like, what do you mean we have no water? I'm like, we have no water. And I don't even remember how it panned out. He went into the utility room, so we have to like go out through the garage and into the utility room. And I actually had no pants because they were in the washer, and they were, of course, just wet enough that I couldn't like take them out and put them back on. So I'm standing out in the garage. It's cold out in just my underwear and a t-shirt. And he's in the utility room, and I hear him like bang. I can't remember what happened for. I heard the like electrical box or circuit breaker like buzz. It's like zzz, really loud, and then I hear like banging. I'm like, oh my God, he's being electrocuted, and he's like, like seizing or whatever in there. So like, I have anxiety if you can't tell. So naturally, like my mind goes to the worst possible thing. I'm like, are you okay? No answer. So I'm like, okay, maybe he just didn't hear me. Are you okay? And he's like, ah. And you said something was buzzing in there though too, right? So we're like, oh great. And Brandon's like, well, I think the well pump died. I'm like, that sounds expensive because it was like clicking. That's what the buzzing was. So it was trying to click on a pump. He's like, so it's clicking on, but the pump is broken. I'm like, that's great because the ground is frozen and the well is in the ground and expensive. And I'm seeing like dollar signs and I'm freaking out. And thank goodness for the internet. We didn't have to look it up in an encyclopedia because it probably wouldn't be in an encyclopedia. And somebody said that before you call a plumber because you think your well pump went out, check this blah 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 capacitor, and if it's bulged out like a capacitor, blown capacitor is, you need to just try replacing the capacitor or this like control panel, the well pump control panel, right? So we looked and the capacitor was blown, and Brandon took his little testing probe things and tested the different like voltages or wattages or whatever.
I ohmed the pump, and the pump ohmed fine. So the pump was fine.
Bless you. So I'm like, great. All we need is this control thing. I'm like, that also sounds expensive. So we looked it up. $50 at Menards. Boom. I had water this morning. Thank you, babe. So he was there at 6 a.m. when they opened, bought it, brought it back, and we had running water by 6:23. He's the man. And we only spent $50 instead of like probably the thousands it would cost for the well pump to go out. But I also realized like we were looking through like all of our like house paperwork. I'm like, oh, our well is original. So that's probably going to actually happen here soon. Plus, I know it seems like when stuff goes wrong with houses, like everything goes wrong at the same time because it's all bought at the same time.
Luckily, all the rest of the stuff's been replaced. Except
some of the windows. Now I really lost my spot. I'm sorry, that story time was really loud or long.
Loud too.
I told you I'm struggling with words. It got beat. Story time with Kristin. Zach has rants and I have story time.
You should just have your own episodes of story time with Kristin.
Yes. That would be really fun. I should just like edit these and like piece them all together and it'd be like hours long. Little Ridge Farm says, my oldest daughter is 29 and youngest is 9. Started all over 20 years later. Holy mackerel, I would not want you just get them out of the house and you got another one in diapers. But yeah, I get it. You can get baby fever. I think I keep getting Verna and Little Ridge Farm mixed up because their pictures are both like very white. I'm not sure. Maybe. Because I think I like read something wrong before. Little Ridge Farm says, my 9-year-old keeps me young. Yes, they'll keep you on your toes. Jasmine, my favorite Kristin stories. With hand signals. I should watch back sometime, because like when I'm telling my stories, I'm like looking all over the room, and like I kind of look at the camera, but I don't like look at myself, like how I look like on the computer. Maybe I don't want to watch, because then I'll judge myself, and you know, sometimes you just gotta go with it. And so Swanson said, "Don't worry about things going bad at the house. Kristin will be at the commune soon." Haha. Yes. Where are we meeting? Miamisburg, Ohio. All of a sudden, Zach's gonna have all these like little huts showing up this property. Just kidding. Don't do that, you guys. Jennifer Myers says, loved my late 40s. 30s were full of two sons and their friends. No way I would go back to any age under 45. Yeah, I think it probably has a lot to do with like when you have kids. When, like, well, I mentioned not too long ago, I had our son when I was 20. Got married when I was 19. Had my son when I was 20. We had my daughter when I was 21. Yes. Is that my stomach or yours? I'm hungry. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but then, like, so a lot of, like, my classmates and people I grew up with and stuff were, like, going to college, and, like, I felt really, like, alone because I was, like, married and whatever. But then my mom was like, dude, like, your kids are going to graduate before you turn 40. Shut up. Like, she's like, you're going to have the kids out of the house and you'll have money to have fun instead of going out, like drinking college town. Because we live in a college town. So, like, I felt like I was missing that experience. My mom was like, you can, like, go travel and go do, like, fun things because the kids will be old. So
buy more farm animals.
Yes, all the farm animals. We won't go anywhere because we're going to have farm animals.
So can't go anywhere now, so.
Exactly. Yeah, I need to start planning for QuillCon. Yes. I got beat. Don't worry about it. Kristin, good storytellers use their hands to tell the story. Yeah, I gotta paint the picture.
You dancing now?
You don't want to see me dance, you guys. You do not. Little Ridge Farm says, I'll change my avatar soon so you don't get us mixed up. Oh no, you don't have to do that. I just need to learn how to read. Verna said, you should watch yourself, Kristin, and remember those things you hate about yourself are the very same things we find endearing with you. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you. If you guys hear snoring, that is Nano.
Probably not.
He's super cute. I love him. All right. Well, like I said, we'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Central here on Whiskey Tango Farms, or Whiskey Tango Talk. Do you dance the funky chicken? Is it like the chicken dance? Oh, we hatched out 3 turkeys this week. Squirrel. Witch Doctor, you guys did what we did. I always knew I wanted to be a young mom or youngest. Our youngest is now 21. There you go. Yeah, I don't know when, before I met him, I was like, I'm not having kids. I don't want kids. Ugh, I don't want those things. Ugh, they're little gross pooping machines. And then we got married, and he's like, you want to have a baby? I'm like, yeah, sure. It happened really quick. So apparently I'm fertile myrtle. I don't know. And then our son was almost 1. I'm like, oh, he's super cute. He needs a kid, another kid to play with. Let's try. It'll probably take a while, you know. Boom, pregnant. I'm like, okay, we're done now. So. Little Ridge Farm says Quail Shuffle. Yeah, the new chicken dance. Witch Doctor said, I met my husband when I was 15. He bought me candy. Elbow cough. Oh boy. Hey, whatever works. Our first date, so we met online. So our first date, we actually met at Culver's, which is like a kind of like fast food, like a nicer fast food.
People know what Culver's is.
Not everybody. whatever. It's a nice burger place and they have ice cream. But I wanted to meet him there, like in public, to make sure he wasn't a serial killer. And he wasn't. So then we went on a second date at Cristiano's in Watoma, Wisconsin. It's an Italian place. And then on the way home, my car engine blew. And luckily, he was following me.
Yeah, the guy that towed her car said that she needed to marry a mechanic.
No, not that time. So they towed my car. That was Wenninger's, the only tow place in Watoma. And they towed me. Well, then I had to drive my mom and dad's old 92 S10 stick shift pickup truck. I drove that maybe about a week. And then all of a sudden, I think the fuel pump went out or something. So I coasted into, Culver's, ironically, a different Culver's. This one was in Watoma. The one we met at was in Rapids. But, so I drifted into Culver's and I call up Wenninger's. I'm like, hey, I need my truck towed. Well, the guy that came to tow my parents' truck that I was borrowing was the same guy that came to tow my car. And he's like, you need to marry yourself a mechanic. And I'm like, and I knew like he had worked on cars and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm dating one. So, and now we're married. So I guess maybe that guy was foreshadowing something. So. Jasmine says, love you guys. Fun chat tonight. Thanks for the tips and laughs tonight. Yes, you're very welcome. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Literally, you want some candy, little girl? Oh boy. Did you hop in a white van too? Like, dang. Well, you're still alive to tell the story. So, I mean, like, hey, obviously ended okay. Kids, I'm not suggesting you do that, but Jasmine says, love Culver's. Yes. Me too. Their cheese curds are good. Their onion rings are very good. Their custard is good. I am hungry. They're still open. I should not eat that though. It usually makes me pretty upset. Oh, that's so cool. I don't know if I can say that. I just got a really cool picture though. And maybe hopefully I can share it next week, but I want to ask this person. Well, are you asking right now? Ask him. Wait, please hold. Just hold. Never mind. We'll tell you next week. You can wait. It's not urgent. But anyways, we'll see you again next week at 7 p.m. Central. Thanks for listening to my story time. And yeah, hit like, subscribe, notification bell. Stay safe. Have a good night. Bye.